Okay, let's see how we're going here. Are there delays? Seems like we've got excellent on there. It's a good sign. The only thing I'm concerned about is if my voice is keeping up with my mouth. But I don't know. Let's see. I think on OBS there's corrections for that anyway. Advanced audio properties. Yeah, sync offset. So when I finish the recording, I can check that perhaps at this time, but I can't check it now, which is weird. I can see on the little screen doobly-doo though, that there is obviously a delay for upload. Okay. Enough of that. Let's get into things. Well, welcome to the first live Google Workspace After Dark. Or Workspace After Dark, I should say. Basically, all I want to do here is go through the latest news with Google Workspace and other workspace type software programs for business, and what's happening in the development world related to business automation and programming. So we'll try and cover this in an hour or so, and just highlight some of the important stuff that we might face in day-to-day business and development. So basically my source of information for now is the Google Workspace blog updates and also the Google App Script release notes, two areas that are closely tied to one another. All right, so I'm just going to cherry pick a few here so you can see there's a lot of changes over the week. But one of the things that has been on the front of everyone's mind, I guess, is the release of Gemini into Google Workspace. And I just want to have a bit of fun here and open up my testing account and bring that across. And let's just whack this in here too. And we'll also add this in. I think we'll need my main account again, so I'll just close that up. All right. Okay, so we're in my testing account. It is a Google Workspace domain account. I think it's on the business account service. So we need to go through verification, and this should be pretty fun. Just handle for that for a sec. Okay, so let's go into mail first.google.com. Okay, here's our first bombardment. Gemini is here to help you save time. Use Gemini, Google's AI assistant, to draft emails and catch up on long threads directly in Gmail. You'll see more features and enhancements over time. Okay, first bit of spam pops up on the right hand side. Now remember, before the release we used to get the ads up the top. So now, being part of the business package, at the very least we won't get the ads, although we do get the additional cost. I'll talk about my feelings about this in a moment, but let's have a look at a couple other things. We could go sheets.new. Ooh, there we go. Save time with tables. So we've got the table spam that pops up as usual every time we grab something new, but we also got help me create tables with that little Gemini icon. Got it. Docs.new. Okay, straight away we've got the Gemini here to boost your productivity on Docs. Where else would we find it? We should see it in slides too, right? So slides dot new. Okay, so we've got some instructional stuff for collaborate more easily with live pointers. Hey, that's pretty cool. But that's not the Gemini stuff, so we didn't get too much. Oh, here we go. There's our, how did I miss it? It's right on the sidebar here, already expanded out. Okay, do you reckon it's some forms? Forms dot new? And learn about the new forms. Okay, probably not, because I rarely open this account to do forms, so no thanks. No Gemini in forms. Okay, so clearly we're being propelled in the direction of using Gemini in our day-to-day work life. Let's have a look at what Google says. So Google Workspace update, let's scroll down until we can find a Gemini vocab list. We'll get back to that. Here. Okay, so best of Google AI now included in Workspace Business Workspace Business and Enterprise plans. What's changing? Today we announced that we're including the best Google AI in Workspace Business and Enterprise plans without the need to purchase an add-on. Well, a little bit misleading there, gang, because we're paying an extra $2 or more per user per month. Many Workspace customers have been using generative AI to boost productivity, creativity, innovation, transforming how they work. Again, I'm not too sure if this is the case. It'd be interesting to see the stats on this, and I would love to know if you're using Gemini or a AI tool in your workplace. I mean, it's starting to be ever pervasive in the workplace. I use it to a degree, but I use it with strategies to make myself not more stupid in the long term, but to be able to help educate myself to be better at what I do in the long term. But it's something for a different time, I guess. Gemini is helping reduce the burden of mundane tasks like taking notes during meetings, synthesizing long documents, and stepping in as a strategic thought partner to bring ideas to life and find ways to problem solve. Expanding the latest generative AI capabilities to more of our customers ensures that they have the tools they need to stay on the cutting and competitive edge. Following features. Gmail. Oh, we had Gmail open. So let's maybe split screen this to have a quick look. Okay, here we go. And we'll move over to Gmail here. Help me write. Move this over a little bit more. We don't probably need that. Help me write. Effortlessly write and improve your new emails and replies, from polishing your tone with a single click to generating new drafts. Okay. We've probably got this here. If we click, what can Gemini do? Will just spit out the same thing? Just a sec. That's not too bad. It's Gemini centric. Find information in your Google Drive. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at, so help me write, compose. Nice, help me write, there it is, pop up already. Get help writing messages from scratch, sure. Ooh, this provide a personal welcome to Code Club from Yagi. Saturday. And let's create, see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, pretty rote. One of the funny things that's going to come out of this is we've got emails that we send out. So we'll also ingest emails as well, and we'll probably use AI to ingest those emails. So when we're making those personalized email automations, then the Gemini on the other end will ingest those and then produce a AI generated response, essentially leaving us out of the picture. I think in some cases though, I mean, that does cut down time. My concern is that it takes out the business factor though. So you're not actually reading and reviewing what's going on in the sentences that are coming out. You're not getting the tone of the message that's happening from perhaps a client that's concerned or worried about a product or a release. So you miss a few steps along the way just to save you time. Now that may be important if it's saving you a bunch of time, but it's also means that you lose context in the summaries that you're receiving, and also you lose personalization, even though we said personalized, in the emails that you're sending out to people. More importantly, down the track, if you use this time and time again, you're going to lose the ability to write letters and emails appropriately. That's okay. So let's close that. So summarize emails. We got anything worth summarizing here? Nothing really on this count worth summarizing that we can share. Maybe something in spam. No, nothing in spam either. That's okay. So it summarizes emails. So it's going to give us a summary that makes sense. And Gemini in the side panel. Draft email response queries, your email. Catch me up on project. Okay, so that's not too bad. So this is saying here, it can give you a summary of an email chain that you have been working on, and perhaps that email chain has broken and is in multiple parts, and it will review the entire Gmail for a summary of all those communications. Now, how accurate it is, I'm not entirely certain, but that may be handy just to get a quick feel or quick scope of what's going on. Okay, so let's just move on to have a look at docs now. So Gemini in the docs side panel, here it is here. Create an outline for a pitch. Brainstorm, what can I do in Gemini? Well, let's do a pitch, and then maybe we could do a cover image for that pitch, perhaps. Let's try that. Create a product pitch about a sustainable footwear company. Well, let's do something relevant to me. About for I don't know, for my my Google Workspace, my Google Workspace software development and automation services outline. Maybe outline 2 pitch. There we go. See what happens here. Now I have seen online a number of people complaining about these buttons up the top coming in and just sort of covering up the sheet that you're working on. And it does seem each time I look at these, they're getting bigger and bigger. But let's see what happened here. Value proposition, corporate talk, makes me want to ick. Active listening, demonstrate empathy and understanding. Yeah, tailored solutions. So I mean, it's not going to get you ahead of anyone with anything unique or original, is it? But I suppose it's a good place to start. My concern is that this is where people will stop instead of this is where people will start. And can you just copy this in? Let's do it. Insert. There we go. That's all right. And that just builds that out as well. Okay. And what if we? What was the other thing that it offered? Cover image. How do we do cover images? All right. So create cover image for this pitch. It's thinking away, doing its thing. I don't know if it's the Twitch connection, so my side, or it's just under a lot of load because it's been implemented out into the entire Workspace ecosystem. This is a little slow. Okay, so that would give me a list. What is it? Okay, so prompting there is not too bad. What are some of your specific expertise areas in Google Workspace development automation? Onboarding, say on client, staff and client onboarding. What else? Workflow automation. Migration from Google Workspace. Project expansion out of what would it be? App script, I guess. Script and into expansion out of app script and into, I don't know, what's the word? And dev project. Okay, help with that. That's weird because it asked that question before. It was just a prompt, I guess. Maybe a bit of its user can't help with that. So you meant to, it's prompting you what to ask and then you click on it next. That's weird. No, I just clicked on it. It was a request to Gemini to explain my business. Well, that didn't work, did it? If it had prompts to ask you to help improve perhaps its image background, it might be able to provide a list or some esoteric imagery that would encapsulate that meaning. That would have been helpful. But all we've got is this. So we've got an arrow here to insert, so that would insert that anywhere on the page. That's pretty quick though. That's not bad for speed. But it would be just a URI link, and inserting a URI link that's already in Google Cloud is going to be fairly fast. All right, cool. What else did they say here? Cover images, help me write. Well, we could sort of see the help me write, help me create. It gave you a list of formatted documents. If you've got a plan, I suppose it could give you a skeleton. My suggestion is to say, provide headers or suggest headers. And once the headers are written, then writing it all yourself. So you know exactly, because the writing process is to help you plan out and map what you're doing. If you're leaving it to something else, then that intrinsic understanding of your plans and processes won't be there. And summarize documents. Yeah, summary. Make it. Let's do that quickly. Okay, this outlines a pitch for Google Workspace software development and automation services. It emphasizes understanding clients' needs and offering tailored solutions and showcasing expertise. The pitch also covers the development process, pricing, and next step, and provides additional tips for a successful presentation. Processing, next step, pricing, packages, Q&A and closing, additional tips. Yeah. That's okay. Might save a little bit of time. But again, someone's going to send this. You'll send this to your client, and then your client's Gemini will summarize it, and they'll get a gist, and it's a fairly cookie cutter gist, right? So it's not going to pick out the special items in your Google Doc that you want your client to see, which is, I think, a problem with this integration of GPTs and large language models in the workspace like this. So if you get something like this from someone, read it in its entirety, spend that extra time, because you might find something that's a red flag or a green flag. Oh, we've also got Drive here too. So take notes for meetings. Adaptive audio is pretty cool. Translation languages, I'd like to see that live translation. I think I need 2 people for that though. Drive, that'd be a good one to look at. Okay, haven't got much on here though. So surprisingly, we didn't get a Gemini pop-up for this. Maybe it's got sick of this already. So it's in the side panel though. You can summarize topics. It can work with PDFs in Drive. It can't change file names. So if I said like delete, it has no actions, right? So if I said delete any Google Doc titled it's not going to do that. Pretty sure. I can't do that. I'm not able to create GemKick response yet. What's that? What you talking about, Willis? I'm not able to explain. What is Gem? Try it one more time. Sometimes persistence helps. Nope. Okay. Don't know. Magic. Alright. Let's drive. Sheets. Okay, after being spammed for tables, tables are kind of okay. One thing I like about tables is most of what a table is can be used in Google Apps Script or externally. You can export it into the Google Sheets API. You can't, don't believe you can, no you can't. You definitely can't create a table yet with AppScript, but it still can be read, which is kind of cool. All right, so Gemini, what are you doing? Okay, Sheets. Gemini and Sheets side panel, quickly create tables. So there are actionable items in this one. Oh, well, the same with docs, I suppose. You could create a document, but in Google Drive, you can't do that. But having said that, I know in the past year that they've really upped their security for personally, I don't think it's for good reasons. Perhaps changing the API security and splitting it into maybe just the stuff you're working on or by folder perhaps would have been a better approach long term. But instead they've just like made it more challenging or increased the security privileges for the API and the scopes, which kind of sucks for a developer at least, and I don't think it's protecting anyone. Okay, Sheets, Gemini and Sheets side panel. Okay, let's do that. Create and expense. It's also got enhanced smart fill. So it just means there's a fill statement in Excel, and it just means that it will autofill things a little bit better. Okay, so unlike in Docs, there's a disparity here where in Google Docs you had to suggest to put it in. Here it's already added in for you. So this is a preview though. Okay, so that's fair enough. It helps you see what's going on a bit better. Insert. Now it's not going to help you with anything with AppScript or coding, so we can't update this with a side. It's going to say, sorry, I can't help you with that. Yeah, so you still can't create input forms or any actionable item. To be honest, they're not particularly difficult to do, although there's authorization issues that I'm sure it will stumble on. Especially if you've got protected ranges in your sheet, it's really going to struggle with that. But I could probably see in the future there is going to be some AppScript integration with Gemini as well. I'll be sad if Gemini, I'll be sad the day when Gemini hits the AppScript IDE, but I expect it to happen. Okay. Slides. Help me create an image. What about remove image background? Okay, let's do that. Help me create an image of a goat. Oh, it's also in chat too. All right, this dude looks pretty cute. Let's put him in there and then remove the image background. How are we going to do that? Can we do that here? No. Oh, what if I select it and say, what does it say? Oh, it just says view more. We're just making more goats. Okay, just more goats. That dapper dude. All right. Create an image. No, let's. So we got this one. Okay, so it's got its own custom image creator in there. All right, that's not too bad. That's pretty good because I often use Google Slides for, I don't know if it's still around, but there used to be something called Microsoft Publisher, and it was like this drag and drop tool that you could place certain things here to make perhaps a newspaper front page or something like that. And I use it, I can use Google Slides for the same thing, and it can be super helpful. So let's just ask Gemini. I'm not sure how to do the remove though. Remove the image background. Let's click on this. Click an image in a drawing, in Google Drawings, a Google Slide, Google Slides, or it's even in Drawings, or a scenes canvas in Google Vids. Okay. Click Edit Image. Oops. Reset image, replace image. Upload, no. Am I not seeing it? We can rotate, so it's the whole edit frame. What if it's, maybe it's in one of these in the panel. Place image, format options, set image. Drag this over a bit. Click edit image. That's format. Recolor. You would think it would be in here. One of the things, it's like this is sort of the old school. I'm seeing a lot of disparity with the developers of Google Workspace doc sheets and slides of yesteryear and the developers now. And they're putting things in places that are different to where they were before, which is fine, but you need to put everything together as a whole somewhere. And that's a frustrating bit for me. Like even with background fonts and colors where they did the drop-down menus and sheets, completely different set of coloring to the standard color sheets that you get for text and whatnot. So we've got recolor, might be in there. No recolor. Oh, that does that. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. Drop shadows, reflection, nothing there. Size and rotation, nothing. Can we create it? That's just going to go back to this one again. Remove background. You can format image. So, okay, format. Here we go. Image. Remove background. Not there. What if we just click this as a whole? Format. Now it's not there as all. Format. Format. Image. Okay, so we found remove background, but maybe it's not been implemented yet. What if we try this dude instead? Oh, I've got some drop shadow here too. Drop shadow, no reflection, no. Let's just delete him. Delete him. Let's put that dude in there. And click on it, format, image, remove background. Come on. That's not a bad job removing the background. That's pretty cool. I like that. Look at him. That's pretty fun. Cool, cool, cool. All right. first thing that's made me smile so far. Okay, so we've played enough with slides. I think we'll leave the other ones alone for now. And we'll just go back to the main blog. Okay, so let's have a look at a couple of announcements that look interesting. Generate vocabulary lists using Gemini. Yeah, I see the point of this. This looks pretty cool though. Introducing the ability to grade all in Google Classrooms. Now, back in the day, I ran a Moodle server with my team. And you could grade anything. So you could grade as the individual teacher, there would be team leaders and they could grade their entire team. Perhaps if someone was sick during a testing day, or I could grade everyone in one fell swoop using any sort of testing software that I had integrated into Moodle. So I'm just wondering if this is the first stages of that. Okay, so in 2023, we expanded grading systems in Google Classroom, and in 2024, we added a missing grade state to the gradebook. That's pretty good. To further improve upon grading options for teachers and give them the ability to perform bulk grading, we're introducing Grade All. With this new feature, teachers can quickly and efficiently grade all students' work on the gradebook page by selecting Grade All. So is it still just individual teachers, or can it be accessed by others is my question. Because that was one of my criticisms. We did use the Google Classroom in certain cases, like if we had a summer course running, then it was just easier to spin up a Google Classroom. But I also knew if someone was away, then you'd have to give them their username and password to log in to that class, or share another teacher onto that class, which kind of sucked. With this new feature, teachers can quickly, efficiently grade all students' work on the gradebook page by selecting Grade All. They can also choose to override existing grades and automatically return them to students after grading. Not only does this update save time by eliminating the need to enter each student's grades one by one. Okay. Actually, this is really starting to look like Moodle. Look at that. But also provides solutions to grading assignments based on completion rather than accuracy, such as exit tickets, junior classwork. I don't think I've got don't think I've spun up a Google Classroom in this account. Okay, I'm a teacher. Okay, so it's me testing out a course. Let's create just quickly create a class name, just test. Section 1, subject, testing. Room, don't need a room, create. We should have a look at this as me as an administrator too at some stage. And I also wonder, so how do we get to this? It's been a while since I've been on classwork. Create quiz assignment. Okay. And then we create a blank quiz through forms. Got it. You are chicken. Yes. No. Maybe. Required. Enter key and points. Okay, you can sign that. You know what would be cool? Sometimes you have to do compliance in education to make sure it fits certain learning outcomes, and those are usually coded into different sections. So for English, for example, you might have vocabulary, grammar, and whatnot, and you need to put in, and often in your compliance, if you're working with an accreditor, they will require you to say each test needs to fulfill a certain amount of your total requirements, and you need to put in that value next to that question. That would have been cool. And the other thing too, which was great with Moodle, is that you could pool all of your questions in one, and then you could reuse those questions across other assessment types instead of having to create the same assessment types over and again. I don't know if that's changed in classrooms. I haven't done a lot of work in classrooms for clients in the past few years, but I don't feel that is the case at the moment. But anyway, we're moving on. We're missing the point. Done. Let's go done. Back to classroom. You can add it to your rubric and reuse it, but you're not be able to blend those questions together, right? It's a sign. Probably says you've got no students. Oh, there it is. Add a topic, got it. There's instructions marks. Marking. Yeah, so the marking category's got a bit more complex since I last looked at it. But we can't really show what's going on here with this image. But I do like that now you can just grade all. Interesting. All right, let's go back very quickly. Is there anything profoundly interesting for this week? Use tokens as placeholders for user-specific information when configuring managed iOS applications. That seems interesting, but I think we're going to run out of time, and I want to cover some app script stuff. But I haven't really gone into that, so it might be worth learning. All right, let's go. I was talking about remove background. Script. Release notes. Here we go. All right, let's have a look at some written. Okay, good developer. Yep, dismiss. Okay, so we've got some interesting stuff that came out recently. Two things we should be able to do together in the last few minutes of this broadcast. Does broadcast sound old manny? Stream? We'll see. Okay, so let's go into new script here, right? Actually, what we want to do is probably just grab a spreadsheet because we're going to play with sheets, and that's going to be easy. Sheets. We'll go into Drive. So I think we already created a sheet. Yeah. There we go. Okay, just getting pummeled with the latest news. All right, so head into extensions and app script. We'll rename this to, I don't know, what's it? 22nd. So with the current date, so 2025.01. Dash 1 dash 2 test. All right, so let's go into extensions at script. Okay, cool. Thank you. Heard you the first time. Nice, and let's just duplicate this, because when we jump on the AppScript dashboard, I want to know what this is. Okay, so one of the things that came out in December 9th, a little while ago now, but I kind of think it's fun, is that if we've got spreadsheet app, get active, which is going to be the current spreadsheet, or get active spreadsheet, which is more verbose, but much more clear. Also const ss equals spreadsheet app, nice. And now we just want to grab the sheet, so const sheet equals, and here usually we can get the sheet by name by saying ss.getSheetByName, or by, that's confusing, name, because it's next one in the hierarchy. I'm so used to doing it with muscle memory. And then you would go here, so let's just create something else, another sheet 2 here. And typically, let's move this a bit more space, a bit more space. There we go. So here we can get the sheet by name. So any sheet by name. The sheet 2 is probably our best here. Okay, and so I'm going to add that in there. Let's say, just say G for A1. All right, and then we could say const. Once we've got the sheet, we could say, oh, well, let's just go console log sheet.get sheet ID. So this is one way we could have got the sheet ID. So hit save. Now we're going to, like I said, we're going to do 2 things at once. So hopefully this will give us a permission request. Maybe not, it's very simple. First execution is painful. Yep, I think it's called timing out. Let's run. Come on. There we go. Authorization required. Here we go. Review permission. And here, let's just look at this news. Generally available, granular OAuth permissions are now supported for users executing scripts in the AppScript IDE. The granular OAuth consent screen lets users specify which individual OAuth scope they would like to authorize. The granular consent screen will gradually launch to the remaining AppScript surfaces, such as add-ons and trigger executions in the future. So right now it's just working inside our IDE. And along with this comes these other scopes here. So you'll need to get the authorized scopes and then probably present more emails. So obviously more work for us, the developers here. And I'm concerned about citizen developers in this case too, because this is probably stuff that they're not going to be thinking about at all. They just want to try and get the job done in their Google Sheet. To automate it, and now they have to do all this other stuff, which is going to be frustrating for them and probably reduce engagement with AppScript, which is not great. But let's review permissions now. Okay, so it hasn't come up on this one, but what we'll expect to see in future, maybe it's just because it's one scope, but what we should expect to see in future is a little checkbox here, and users will be able to decide whether or not they can check certain scopes. Now, users being users, they can often put tinfoil hats on and just uncheck things willy-nilly and then complain that the app isn't working when they want it to work. We know what it's like. But so we're putting a lot of power back into the user's hands, thinking that the users are competent in understanding what's happening with the scopes. But oftentimes in your own personal organization, you don't care. They're working for you or working for your company, and you just want them to get the thing done, right? And it doesn't matter because they're not going to be keeping anything but your work information in their accounts, right? Right? So let's allow. Okay, so we've got a result back. It's 34219. 4629. Maybe we'll zoom in a bit so you can see. Okay, so that's kind of useful. So we've got the getSheetId in here and the getSheetByName sheet 2. So what the change is here is getSheetById. So previously what we had to do to get a getSheetId was this. So const sheet let's just comment that out, equals ss.getSheets here, which would return a bunch of sheets. And then we would need to perhaps a find here. And then where the sheet is equal to, so sheet dot get sheet ID is equal to, and then whatever the sheet ID is. So in this case, it was this one, right? So I copy, paste that bad boy in there, is equal to, I think it's just a number, oops, is equal to that. Then it's going to return that particular sheet with the find method here. So we could then say console.log sheet.get name. And that will return the name of the sheet if we didn't stuff it up. Hit run. Yeah, there we go, sheet 2. So what it's doing is iterating over each one of the sheet tabs in your sheet and then finding the correct sheet tab and returning the class for that particular sheet. Now, with this update, we don't have to do this step. So all we need to do now is go const sheet equals get sheet by ID. Oops, you crazy? We say ss.getSheet by ID, and it should do the same thing. No, what happened? Signature sheet. Oh, sorry, gotta put the ID in there, don't I? Sausage. Okay, sheet 2. Same thing again, just going to save us an extra command with this find here. I suspect it's doing the exact same thing behind the scene, where it's iterating through the list of sheets and then it's finding the sheet. So it'd be interesting to do a performance test as much as you can performance test in Google Apps Script, which is really hard. But I think this is probably a bit more efficient approach to save you time, unless you've got the muscle memory in your fingers where you're going SS get sheet by name and your auto completes now to by ID instead of by name. But that's just me. I'll learn. I'll figure it out in the end. Okay, so that's it. Where are we at? 8:55. Okay, so let's just, so we covered those two app script ones I really wanted to talk to you about today. It's annoying that I couldn't get this OAuth to display for you, but I had it in my other account. I don't know if I've got... It's script or script? Yeah, just one S. Let's try maybe... That has some interesting stuff. Let's open that. And then we can make a copy. Close that bad boy down. Extensions, so it's not gonna do it till it finishes thinking. There we go, app script. Okay, good for you. And let's just run daily task update. See if we can get that authorization going here. If not, it just means it hasn't been implemented on this account yet. There was a rollout phase. Actually, we're in the wrong account here now. Okay, we changed accounts, but that's okay. This is not a Google account, so we still haven't got that there. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We'll try something else next time if it pops up. I'm hoping over time too, I'll build out my tester account so we can just access things like classrooms and play around with what's just come up in the news. Okay, let's have a quick look down here, see if we've missed anything cool. I think that's it for that week. Back to January 16th. How long ago was that? Oh yeah, still relevant. Use tokens as placeholder. Isn't that this one? Yeah. Went through that. That was pretty good. This one was on the 13th. So it's the previous week. Covered most of that. I think we'll wrap it up. Okay, so I think that's it. We'll try and keep these week to week. If something pertinent comes out, we'll try and keep these streams week to week. If something important comes out, someone's written an article, send me a message if it's worth reading and reviewing. If there are anything on, what is it? Bugganizer, so the error logs or request logs, that's worth covering. Let me know too, and we'll have a look at that. It's always good to draw attention to things so the developers at Google know that this is important, and we could collectively star a bug that might help them tell their higher ups that they need to spend some more or invest some more time fixing this, which means more money for them to invest time in. All right, so that's it for me. You can catch me on if you want some more from me, you can catch me on my YouTube channel or at yagisan@today.com. I'll see you next week.